we'll talk about that, and then how that became I became the writer extraordinaire.
Oh, appreciate it.
And what did Paul used to call you? The attitude?
The attitude at bearing arms.
The attitude at bearing arms, yeah.
I love that.
That's great.
I should have gotten that on my business cards.
Right.
I really should have, because it's true too, because I'm the snarky one.
All right, before we start this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie, we want to thank you guys for tuning into the show. If you are new here to the YouTube channel, please hit the notification and the subscribe so that you get new shows when they come out, and that's good for all the algorithms and the analytics in the YouTube world. If you are listening to the show in podcast form, please leave a positive review on whatever it is that is your favorite podcast outlet. And if you enjoy the show, if you like it, please share it with your friends, because that is how we get the Stagecoach across America. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today, we are coming to you from Atlanta, from the NRA Annual Meetings in 2025. And I have with me Tom Knighton, who is one of the writers at Bearing Arms. Tom, thank you so much for being on the show.
Appreciate it, bro.
We talk. I say this almost every episode. We've talked about doing this for a long time.
Yeah, we have. 2021.
But we have.
2021.
We have, and I don't get down to Georgia and your area of the neck of the woods, and you don't get out very often.
No, I really don't. I'm a freelancer, so I have to pay for my travel.
Bruh, I hear ya. I teach kids how to play the violin to pay for my travel.
Yeah, I don't know how to play the violin.
Well, I give lessons, so...
I actually have a violin.
Do you?
My mom was a violinist.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
I have her violin.
And she didn't get you to play?
She wouldn't let me touch her violin until she died.
Well, I get that. I get that, but she could get a new one. Right?
I would actually want to use hers. I actually want to use hers.
Oh, you're not up to it yet.
Nah.
All right, where are we going here? We're not going to follow the bus. How about that?
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, so it's nice to finally make this happen here at the NRA Annual
Absolutely.
Meetings. I like to talk about how people became gun folk and how they get into it and how they do what they do and how they ended up where they're at.
Well, let's see.
This is encouraging. Got a guy taking a leak right on the building. Wonderful.
God bless Atlanta.
It's only 10:10 in the morning.
And people wonder why I don't come up here often.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, being a gun guy, I was, raised in the deep South.
Yeah.
Even though I'm from a city, Albany, Georgia is a decent sized city, or it was when I was a kid, but it's surrounded by country.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be a city kid and a country kid at the same time. So guns were always part of my life. My dad was a cop.
Yeah.
He had grown up hunting. He was the son of a Free Will Baptist preacher that worked in, small town churches pretty much his whole life. So he was always in the woods on the weekends.
That's cool.
And so, guns were just something that I think I had the first time I ever pulled the trigger. It was on a 38 special when I was 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Dad had his hands around me.
Right?
I wasn't handling it by myself, but I'm the one who
Right.
pulled the trigger. He cocked the hammer back, so I had that light single action pull. But that was the first time, and I've loved guns ever since.
That's cool. I did the same thing for my son was 5. I had him shoot a Mossberg. I think it was a Mossberg Plankster that was a friend of mine's.
Okay.
And then my daughter, I had a Browning Challenger that was my father's, little 22 semi-auto pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same thing. I put my arms around her. She was 4.
Yeah.
I put my hands around hers, press the trigger. I'm like, yeah, that was fun. That was cool. Let's go get some ice cream. Right?
Yep.
Got to put some positive reinforcement in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I've been, for me, I was hooked. And, then when I finally got old enough to go hunting myself, my dad bought me an Enfield Jungle Carbine for my first hunting rifle.
Really?
303 British.
Oh my god!
Money got tight much later on, and I sold it. And God, I regret that so bad.
No kidding.
Because that was just such a cool gun for a first hunting gun. I'd had a little single shot break action 410.
Yeah.
That I didn't actually like that much.
Really?
I don't like single shots. I want a little more meat to it. I want a little more meat to it to absorb that recoil.
Well, sure, but for having, having taught my kids, try to get them on a gun at a young age, having them shoot the Mossberg Plinkster, I'm spending more time loading magazines than he's spending shooting.
Yeah.
And then once I got him a bolt-action rifle, it kind of slowed things down.
That's true. That's true. For my son, my dad gave us a 1022.
Oh, gotta love a 1022.
Yeah, it was one of those things I wanted for a while, just never got around to getting.
Yeah.
And it's again, this you can get a 30 round mag for them.
Not for me, I can't.
But no,
in free America, you can't.
I live in a free state where we can do stuff like live free.
Yeah, I live in occupied territory.
Yes, you do.
Where we don't tell people we live free.
Yeah, I've never met anyone from Massachusetts who's like, no, we're totally a free state. I mean, I'm sure I can find people who will say it,
right?
But they're commies.
Totally.
And therefore they're not actually people.
Oh my gosh.
They're helicopter ballast.
Right. So we used to.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
This is a great. It's a great time to bring up the old nickname you had on the. When we were doing the Polite Society podcast and the Daily Bullets with Paul Lathrop, he called you the attitude of bearing arms.
That I am. I have no filter.
I love it. That's awesome. Awesome.
My dad and mom were both grade A smartasses. And like to the point that I thought this is how people communicate.
Right. This is our love language.
This is just how people talk.
Right.
And I'd get in trouble because I wasn't allowed to talk to my parents that way, but I didn't know any other way to talk.
Oh my goodness.
But you go through that, then you go through the military, and you're not gonna have a normal sense of humor. You're not. Your calibration's so skewed. You can't help yourself.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm at.
Yeah. All right. So you had a 303.
Yep.
That you'd go hunting with. What are you hunting with a 303?
Whitetail.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. We had a friend who had a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very selective about who he let come out there to hunt. He managed the herd, had permanent, nice stands all over the place.
Nice.
And sitting in the cold, waiting for a deer to walk by, can suck. But when you get one, it makes up for all of it.
So here's my quick version of my hunting story. I thought after I became a gun owner, I was supposed to become a hunter. So I did the hunter ed class. I ended up getting a bow and arrow at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'd go deer hunting because I used to dig Ted Nugent and kill things with sharp sticks. I thought that'd be cool. But it was very much of me, being tactically frugal. I'm like, I'm not going to spend $200 on a pair of boots to keep my feet warm. I'll wear 3 pair of socks and then put the $7 rubber boots I got at Walmart. And when I shoot a deer, then I could justify buying some nice pair of boots. And I never shot a deer, so I never got a pair of nice boots.
Yeah, you want the nice boots.
Yeah, and I eventually said, all right, this is not for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of equipment now that they didn't have back then. Where there's really no way you can, I think everyone should have it just for cold weather.
Sure.
Here in Georgia, we need it for both weeks of it.
Oh my gosh.
We have brutal winters, and it's not even 2 weeks continuous. It's like 3 days here, and then we're 80 degrees for another 3 days or whatever.
Right.
And then it drops to 20 with humidity, which makes it suck worse.
What? 20 with humidity? I can't fathom that.
Yeah. It makes that, even though our temperatures aren't as cold,
right,
it seeps into every fiber of your being.
Oh my goodness.
And yet I stick around because I'm an idiot. Nah, my wife's family's all still down there. She has no interest in moving to drier climates.
Gotcha.
She's never been to drier climates.
some people, this is all they know.
And
That's
you
okay.
know, in fairness with her family there, that's enough reason right there. It's,
Yeah.
you know, so we're stuck with it. Miserable.
I was the opposite. My family was the reason I moved.
I've known some people like that too.
Right.
Like, I love my family. I'm moving as far away from them as possible.
I'm 18 years old. I used to tell people I moved from outside Chicago to Boston, and I stopped in Boston because there was an ocean, and I couldn't get further away.
Fair.
And I say this knowing full well that my sisters don't listen to the show.
Well, having spent some time in Chicago, I understand entirely.
It's the same in Boston. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's get back to talking about you. So,
Yes.
Shooting, hunting deer on the private property. You ended up joining the military.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
I was a Navy corpsman.
Yeah.
Which is medical. We do medical things for both the Navy and the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, you know, a big part of the culture. It's interesting because the hospital corps that, you know, all the corpsmen are part of is the only all enlisted corps in the military.
Oh, wow.
You know, every other corps has, you know, they're either all officers or they're officers and enlisted.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only all enlisted corps. We, you know, have a little swagger about that. Don't call us medics. We take it personally. But, you know, I did that time. I'm glad I did it, but it turns out I've got a little too much anti-authoritarian streak in me to have made that a career. And so we parted ways mutually.
Gotcha. How long were you in?
4 years.
4 years. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I did that time, and like I said, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of having served. You know, being an honorably discharged veteran, even though I joined right after the Gulf War, but got out before 9/11. So I've got a National Defense Medal for a war that was over before I got in. And then, you know, by the time 9/11 happened, I would have actually gone back in for that, except I had a 2-month-old baby. I spent that 20 years of war very frustrated that I wasn't involved more. But my wife would completely lost her mind if I had re-enlisted.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
My son was actually 2 months old exactly on 9/11.
Wow.
They were at his 2-month checkup when the towers fell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My son was 9 months old when that happened.
Okay.
And you know, like everyone else, it made me realize we live in a dangerous world, and I need to get a gun to be able to protect me and my kids.
And that was something that frustrated me because this was after I sold my Enfield. And I didn't have a gun.
Yikes.
And of course, what a lot of people don't realize looking back is we didn't know what was next.
We did not.
Because it was just bam, bam, bam. It was what's next? Is there a next?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
And I did not like the idea of not being able to protect my family.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
That is crazy talk, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen again.
Mm.
And it hadn't.
Thank God.
So
Thank God.
I'm if God forbid we're ever in a situation like that,
Yeah.
I'm at least equipped.
Nice.
And I've got some training on that, and I won't say I have enough training on that because I don't think there's any such thing.
Right.
There's a reason elite Navy SEALs and Delta, guys are constantly training.
Mm-hmm.
I figure if they need more training, then so does everybody else.
So does that, for sure. Absolutely.
We may not need the same level of training,
Right.
but you never have enough.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. I'm an instructor, and it's interesting to. I teach the basic minimum,
Mm-hmm.
and that unfortunately, the basic minimum is oftentimes what people think is the maximum training that they need.
Well, I mean, you need to get some training. Okay, I got some training.
Right. I know how to load and unload. Right.
And if you get somebody who's really froggy, they'll do like one of the NRA personal defense inside the home, personal defense outside the home.
Right.
And figure they're good to go. And the truth of the matter is they're still better off than 90% of gun owners.
Oh, sure.
You know, and then you've got the guys who, well, you know, I was raised around guns. I don't need training.
Oh my God.
You may know safety. And a lot of those guys really do know how to handle a firearm safely and accurately.
Right.
But if you're wanting this as a defensive tool,
that is something completely different.
I used to, I was part of a gun club in Albany, and a bunch of older guys, and they're like, we're going to have a practical pistol competition. We're like, okay, great. And it was 10 rounds at a target, and you could take as long as you wanted. I'm like, what's practical about this?
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally, I mean, when you can just go, pink.
Yeah, that's not practical.
No, there's a place for that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do that well. You need to be able to do that to a high level, as high a level as you are physically capable of.
Right.
And you need to get your skill, your basic marksmanship better than the guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know people they'll get these super accurized guns. And I'm like, you can't hit the broadside of a barn standing in the barn.
Right.
You can't make use of that because your basic marksmanship isn't there.
Right. What's the old saying? You should take instead of buying a $1,000 gun, buy a $300 gun and $700 worth of training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or at the very least, ammo to go and at least get the basic marksmanship down.
Right.
You know, a basic introductory class to learn the principles of marksmanship. Work on that while you're, you know, signing up for other classes, waiting for them to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the only downside is training's expensive.
It is. Shooting is an expensive hobby.
It is. Luckily, it does fit in the closet. Because I've also had vintage cars. Those don't fit in the closet. I used to have a 68 Mustang.
Wow.
Yeah, and it did not fit in the closet.
Yeah, that does not fit in the closet.
Like, I could probably have crammed it into the closet, but my wife would have been very, very mad.
It would have not gone well.
No. For anybody.
Oh my gosh. So how did you get into writing? Were you like, is this something you excelled at in school?
It was something I had a knack. I didn't realize I had a knack for until I get into high school and I'm kind of the dorky kid, and
what? You dorky?
What?
No way.
And we had to do, one of the teachers had us, gave us a thing where it was like the first sentence, mm-hmm. and you had to build a short story around it.
Yeah.
And I did, I wrote it and I turned that in and she's sitting there, picking ones to read out loud. And she did. And there was this girl who sat right behind me that always gave me crap. Mm-hmm. Right. She just had all this attitude towards me. And she turned around and went, "You wrote that?" I went, "Yeah." And she's like, "That was good."
Nice.
And then we had the, I don't even remember the name of the essay contest, mm-hmm. but it was one that was every year. It was about some kind of like citizenship, American,
right.
patriotism, basically. Mm-hmm. And I wrote this thing. It was like just a couple months after, and I won for my grade. And I read, we had to stand up in front of a panel of teachers and see who would represent the school. Mm-hmm. And I went and read my thing, and one of the teachers who didn't know me very well, she was like, "You're a freshman?" And at that point, I'm like, maybe I got some skill here.
Right.
Then it was just kind of something I didn't really do anything with until much, much later. A guy I knew at the time had a small local political blog, and he kind of arranged a meetup of a lot of liberty-loving folks in the Albany area. Mm-hmm. And I was writing about like tabletop role-playing games at the time, and I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about going and talking.
Tabletop role-playing games?
Yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons.
I was going to say, is that code for Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, well, it wasn't just Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Because I would talk about other role-playing games.
Gotcha.
But D&D was a big one.
Right.
And
I didn't know there were others. I
there
apologize.
are tons of them. Yeah.
I had no clue. I didn't play any of those.
But
I was only the Star Wars and band. I wasn't a real geek.
you were in band.
I know.
You were a real geek.
I was a real geek.
Just a little different kind of geek. There are flavors of geek,
Right.
you know, and you're a band geek, therefore, you know, this one
Right.
time at band camp and all that.
This is why some of us get into it.
But, you know, he started, you know, I mentioned, I was like, I'm thinking about starting to, you know, write about politics. He's like, why don't you come write with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was trying to build this thing up, and I started writing, and it kind of went very, very weird because I was writing stuff, and then a guy with a local weekly paper was, you know, hey, can I run some of your stuff? Some of the stuff you have up on the site. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Sure, why
And
not?
then
What do I have to lose?
Right. You know, and it was like, because it was already pre-published, he wasn't paying for it, but it was
Right.
the exposure thing.
Absolutely.
And
You love exposing yourself.
so did that guy over there. Drinking
Apparently.
I kind of wonder if your front cam got him.
I believe it did.
That's going to be amazing.
We shall find out.
It's going to be amazing. But no,
my
it's,
goodness.
you know, but that we went with that, and then I approached the editor, and I was like, I'm kind of wanting to figure out a way to make this my living.
Mm.
And he's like, okay, well, I can't like bring you on full time or anything, but I can definitely, you know, if you do original, I can pay you for that.
Right.
And, you know, I was like, you know, okay, well, now I'm getting paid. It was like pathetically small amounts of money,
Right.
but I'm getting paid.
It's something. Yeah.
And then, like, after several months, he and his family decided they wanted to move back to Florida, so he sold me the newspaper. So as far as I know, I'm the first blogger to ever buy a newspaper.
Oh, that's cool.
And
We're gonna do something completely ridiculous.
okay,
We got to get some gas
in a car?
in a car.
That's weird.
I know, and I'm at the point where I'm like, we got to get some gas. Otherwise, we're gonna be pushing.
That would
And
suck because I got to check out soon.
That's gonna be a problem. And this is the only gas station I've seen. Great. This guy's backing up in me because that's out of service. I don't know if all of these say out of service, out of service, out of service, out of service. Okay, never mind.
Well, I guess we're not going to get gas.
We are not getting gas.
Not right here, anyways.
Oh my goodness. This is the only gas station I've seen. Okay.
But apparently, it's not a gas station.
It's the only convenience store that doesn't have gas. There's no red light there. All right, so let's get back to it. You were
I bought the newspaper.
bought the newspaper, yes.
I'm also the first blogger to ever lose a newspaper because the newspaper business sucks.
That's not good.
And so I was sitting there kind of desperate and, you know, trying to figure out what I'm going to do because
Yeah.
I'd sunk everything I had into it.
Mm.
My mom had helped me. She'd sunk everything she had into helping it. And then, you know, in the midst of that, she passed away. Surprised suddenly.
Oh no.
She had a heart attack, and you know we didn't get her to the hospital in time. We called an ambulance. She was in the hospital. She was fine. Well, fine in the hospital, and they got her to the door, and she coded.
Oh man.
They were trying to get her back and everything. They put so many meds in, and when they finally called it, they come out and they tell me, you know, yeah, we lost her.
Mm.
And then they come back a little while later, like, yeah. Her heart started beating again, and then a little later on, they moved her up to ICU, and she passed like within minutes of getting up there.
Gosh.
But my mom was stubborn, and that was the proof. They pronounced her dead twice.
They pronounced her dead twice. That doesn't happen often.
No, and I'm kind of proud of that actually. you know
little bit of bragging rights.
Yeah,
they pronounced my mom dead twice.
you know the poem "Do not go gentle into that good night."
Right.
Mom did not.
That was her.
She did not at all. But then a little while later, a guy, some people I knew were working with a little startup website, and they needed a writer.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that for a little bit, and then leveraged that into writing for another place. And neither of those two places exist anymore. But then I leveraged that into writing for PJ Media. And I was trying to find a little bit more writing.
I see another gas station. Let's hope they have gas.
A friend of mine was an editor at Red State, and I reached out to her, like, do y'all need anything? And she's like, she forgot about it. She was like, oh, I'll check, and forgot about it for a little bit. And then, excuse me, I reached out again, and she's like, yeah, hit me up in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I hit her up in the morning, and later that day, she's like, how are you on the Second Amendment? And I'm like, I'm a gun nut.
Right. Everyone ought to own machine guns. How are you on the Second Amendment?
I'm like, I should be able to order an F-22 Raptor from Amazon.
Right, and have them delivered to my house.
Right. I should be able to get it with Amazon Prime, fully loaded out, everything.
Totally.
And so that's how I ended up started writing for Bearing Arms. And for the first 2 years almost, I was solo.
Really?
I was running that site by myself.
Oh, that's wild.
Then I found out they were gonna they were like, we're talking to somebody about an editor, and I got kind of bent out of shape.
Right. You're like, hey, I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? And then they're like, yeah, we've hired Cam Edwards. I went, oh yeah, I'd hire him over me too.
All right, we'll be right back. I got to get some gas. They hired Cam Edwards as the editor.
Yeah, and I'd watch Cam on NRA TV and everything
for 3 hours a night for years.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
And, it was funny because one of the things I wanted to do professionally was be on Cam and Company.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, Cam Edwards is your new editor. And I'd already had an email from Cam too.
Jeez, that's great.
And so it was so cool that, I'm going to work with Cam Edwards. I did not expect us to become as good of friends as we have been.
No kidding. He's such a great guy.
He is. I mean, it's anybody that's on television, radio, has successful podcasts or whatever, has to at least appear friendly.
Right.
But no, you're really getting Cam.
Yeah. It really is him, man.
The only thing that's different is maybe modulating the voice a little bit, because when you're on a camera, you do the radio voice.
Right.
Hello caller,
Exactly.
It's that's about the only thing that is different, and that's usually just when he starts up, because he settles back into Cam.
He settles back into being Cam.
He is the same guy.
Yeah.
And I've just thoroughly enjoyed working with him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He really is.
We've worked together since 2019, and it's been great.
Very cool. Very cool. So, you're cranking out stuff all the time.
Oh yeah.
All of the hey, speaking of caller on the air, you want to take one?
Sure.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, where are you at?
I'm in my car doing a show with Tom Knighton.
Oh, okay. Because Kayala and Mayara are here for you.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm not going to get there until after 11. About 11:15.
Okay, we will do our best to try and entertain them until then.
Yeah, please keep the pretty girls entertained, will you?
It's such a struggle for you, Mike. I know.
It is tough. Wait a second. Hold on. Are you telling me you got Tom in the car with you?
I have Tom in the car.
Shot, but not me. Got it. Okay, I got it.
I've only had. This is the first time I've had Tom on.
Is it because I was hanging out with a different Charlie Cook yesterday?
Yes. Yes.
You know
he
what
took
it
it personally.
It's because he's got stories and he remembers them.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, he tickles the right spot when for me. He likes Australia or English football, and it was. All right, I'm done. I'm done with you.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
I got donuts in the booth.
All right,
come on, bud.
All right, bye. So the only thing that hits the editing room floor are my feet.
Nice.
So that's going to be it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This lady's going to pull in front of me. She has no hands on the wheel.
That's Atlanta for you.
Oh my goodness.
Look, being born and raised in the South, William Tecumseh Sherman was profanity. And, especially here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And I bought into that until I started getting caught up in traffic up here. And then the only thing he did wrong was not salting the earth behind him.
Nice.
I do not like large cities.
I don't blame you, man.
I don't mind if I don't have to drive.
Right. I don't mind driving. I don't want to say I don't mind driving. I don't mind driving. Part of the reason I have a hood cam is because I want to have proof that I've driven all over the country.
That's fair.
Very, very superficial.
Well, and I mean, you're in Boston.
I'm an hour.
Or you've been in Boston.
Yeah, I spent 4 years going to college in Boston. Then I spent 4 years gigging in Boston, so driving around, getting used to it, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I figure if I drove up here enough, I'd get used to it and everything. I just don't want to get used to it.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I understand road rage better when we get up here.
Oh my God. Right.
It's like, I'm not actually going to do anything.
But man, I would.
But I do understand it.
Right. All right, so Cam's your editor.
Yes.
You guys are getting along. Cam is Cam.
Yeah.
How much articles do you crank out?
I do 7 a day for Bearing Arms.
7 a day.
I do 2 two-way stories generally for Town Hall. I've got my Substack, which is general politics, and I do 2 a day there.
Yeah.
I'll do a column or a YouTube video. The columns for Town Hall or the YouTube video is, for my YouTube. Mm-hmm. And those alternate on days. I try to take the weekend off. But
what? Yeah. Take the weekend off?
I need it at that point. I run out of stories.
I don't see how you guys keep the stories up.
We are actively seeking out stories. Sometimes people will reach out and go, hey, there's this thing going on in Pennsylvania or in New Mexico that you might want to write about. And we're always thankful for those because it means we didn't have to look for them.
Right.
We have to do a little bit of research on that story, but that's different. We're looking for something specific instead of trying to look very, very general. And those are great, but a lot of times we don't really get that. But a lot of times we gotta work. Sometimes it's, we're reaching for stories some days. Yeah. We really are.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I know what I started to. Before I started doing YouTube and running Shotgun, I thought I would be a podcaster. So I sat down and I'm like, all right, as a very young, I don't want to say young, as a very novice firearm instructor, I'm like, all right, what am I going to talk about? And then I come up with these 3 things. I'm like, I've got plenty of content. Come up with 3 different things. I'm like, all right, I got to have something else here.
Yeah. The content mill is very, very difficult. Yeah. Very different. But we also end up having to repeat ourselves a lot.
Right.
Because it's the challenges to the 2A community don't change.
Oh, for sure.
There's always the arguments that they use don't really change.
Right.
The studies they cite are the ones we've debunked.
Right. Years ago.
Right.
Years ago.
Like they're still bringing up the permit to purchase thing, the study that looked at Connecticut, and we already know that, first of all, they didn't compare it to Connecticut before and after. Mm-hmm. They created a proxy state.
Yeah.
That, there was some weird stuff that went on anyways. And conveniently, the study cut off right before the homicide rate or the gun death rate got above where it was before the permit to purchase law went into effect.
Shocking.
Right.
So they're cooking the books.
Right. And it's so many of these studies are like that. They use ridiculous sample sizes. Mm-hmm. They use weird definitions, and we've debunked them. And we keep having to debunk them. Mm-hmm. And then, so we end up repeating ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
But we do it, we repeat ourselves in completely different ways. Mm-hmm. Part of it is I get a little more snarky.
Right.
I've been told I'm snarky.
This is what you've heard. Word on the street.
Word on the street is that I'm snarky. But if you're going to have to cover a lot of the same ground, you might as well make it entertaining.
Right. And
frankly, people like when their commentators pop off at the other side. Mm. So it's helped. And I don't say anything I regret. I'm not insulting people's entire family history.
Right.
Most of the time. I can't say I won't ever do it.
Yeah.
Some people deserve it.
Sure.
But that's where, we're that's just how it is. And it's a lot of work to find original ways to do it. But
7 articles for one and 2 for the other?
2 to 3.
2 to 3. Man, oh man.
And yet I'm really fast. So it does not take as long, but it is really tiring mentally.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It is mentally tiring. Part of the reason I started doing YouTube was because it uses different parts of the brain.
Yeah.
And so I could take on more work, but do it in a way that doesn't hit that same worn out segment of the brain. Like, I don't know there's actually a different segment, but the thinking and the creative juices are different enough.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that, because I spend plenty of time editing video, but sitting down to write is different for me.
It's a different headspace.
It is a different headspace, and it's a different skill, because you want to write like you speak, but not necessarily, and it's a little different, and you have the opportunity to self-censor and come up with better ways and phrases to say things.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm back that way.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
We got a couple more minutes.
All right.
I'm cutting it really close to your 11 o'clock.
I noticed that.
We are at the corner where the guy was taking a leak.
Yeah.
He's not a racehorse. He's done. Yeah.
But looks like he's still hanging out in the area. So
right. He's still.
I think that's him.
I think it is too. I don't want to look directly at him.
Oh, I've been staring right at him.
Eyes.
I don't freaking care.
My eyes might burn. I don't want to deal with that. All right. Well, can we ride on red here?
Yeah, right on red.
All right. Listen, we're almost back to your place.
Yes.
You got to check out of your hotel.
I do.
You're cranking out articles of Bearing Arms, and for PJ Media. PJ Media became Town Hall. PJ Media became Bearing Arms.
No, but we are. It is owned by the same company.
Okay. Gotcha.
The Town Hall is owned by Salem Media, and they bought PJ Media, which is funny because I was still technically writing for PJ Media when they did the buy, and so I knew about it from that. They're like, "Don't tell anybody," but I told, kind of hinted that I knew at one of the Town Hall staff. Like, yeah, it's weird. Another site I write for is just got bought.
Right.
I was told not to say anything specific though.
Right.
And she just laughed.
I can't say anything, but I'm going to be writing for you guys in a different manner. That's awesome.
But when that happened, they were like, we really need you more at Town Hall or at Bearing Arms. And I'm like, okay.
Cool. I dig that one.
You want me to talk about gun stuff? Neat.
Nice. What's your favorite stuff to write about? Real quick. This is having me walk everywhere.
That's how it's been around here. Favorite stuff to write. It's kind of hard to generalize because sometimes I'll get a piece that just lets me sink my teeth into it. But the different subject or something similar but slightly different doesn't give me that. It's weird. There are just some, especially taking on any kind of op-eds.
Yeah.
Because these are so emotion driven and generally so factually wrong by people who are absolutely convinced they know better.
Right.
It's not like a news article, which is still going to be factually wrong, but they generally asked a question of somebody who's supposed to have known something. Now it's funny how their experts are always with Everytown or Giffords or some crap.
Right.
But that's generally how I go at it, and those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
So
very cool. All right. Well, listen, we need to wrap it up because you need to get in and check out.
Yes, I do.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
We're going to put some links to your to where people can find you. We'll put something to Bearing Arms. We'll put something to Town Hall Media.
And maybe my YouTube.
Of course, we'll put something to the YouTube too.
Awesome, man.
What's the YouTube channel name?
It's called The Fourth Rail.
The Fourth Rail. Because 3's not enough.
Because 3's not enough. Well, it's kind of like the third rail and the fourth estate.
Ah, gotcha.
And it was a little more politically correct than the first option I had, which was based on a news story where someone had a sexual toy that was supposed to be silicone up certain parts of their body, and they get in an MRI machine, and it turned into an anal railgun. And anal railgun was going to be my podcast name.
Anal railgun. Okay.
It's still my band name.
Guys play good traditional Irish music?
Possibly.
Only on the off nights.
Only on the off night.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's like the fourth rail that worked.
That's cool.
So
cool, man. All right, hang tight. We got to button it up.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Listening to Tom Knighton and talk about how he became the attitude of bearing arms, which is awesome.
Proudly.
If you are not a member of the Second Amendment Foundation, you can join them at saf.org. You can check out all your favorite pro-freedom podcasts at sdrn.us. That's the Self-Defense Radio Network. And if you've made it this far, you should share the show with your friends, because that is how we get the stagecoach across America. We will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.